Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news. Halfway decent day, trying to get some fresh air. Figured I'd do a quick update while I'm out here. A lot of stuff going on around the nation, and excuse if I echo. It's bouncing off my garage, so apologize. I just wanted to be outside. But a lot of stuff going on nationwide right now with, the coronavirus and everybody focusing on that. Just pay attention. This is when they typically try to sneak some stuff in. And let's talk about New Hampshire. So the New Hampshire House has passed a couple of anti-gun bills. I'll go over them real quick and I'll tell you the two that they actually didn't pass. So not all hope is lost, but New Hampshire, New Hampshires, the people who live in New Hampshire typically come out when it comes to anti-gun bills, and they get a hold of their representatives. They show up in force to their elected officials' offices and even sometimes their homes, depending on what town they live in. But let's talk about the ones that they have passed. Okay, so I have my little iPad out here because it's a little breezy, so forgive the wind. House Bill 1608. House Bill 1608 will ban the manufacture, possession, transfer, sale, purchase, receipt, or import of magazines capable of holding more than 15 rounds when it comes to pistols and more than 10 rounds when it comes to long guns. Magazine ban in New Hampshire. It's made its way through the House. The next one is House Bill 1349. What 1349 is looking to do is to utilize tax money. I've heard it called a few things, but the best one I've heard was actually from the NRA. They called it a committee to create anti-gun propaganda to further erode the rights of law-abiding individuals by mandating strict one-size-fits-all storage requirements. So it is a storage requirement bill. More on that later, because one of the bills they actually didn't pass has to do with storage, or well, not necessarily storage, but securing firearms. The next one, House Bill 1374, looks to move away from what New Hampshire has typically done, and actually there's a law in the books. So if you surrender a firearm right now, they're forced to sell that firearm. What the current law does is it forebodes them from destroying these surrendered firearms. And this bill looks to rescind that law for voluntary surrendered firearms. And instead of forcing their sale, they would like to destroy them, to get more guns off the mean streets of New Hampshire. Live free or die. Some of the lowest crime rates in the country. And voluntarily surrendered firearms are not crime guns. It's typically somebody dies and the wife turns in the firearm because she doesn't want it. Stuff like that. They're legal guns that they just want to rip them up and destroy them, cut them because. The wind is picking up, so I'm going to try to rifle through these. House Bill 1285. It's a gun-free zone on school grounds type bill. It would allow you to pick up your child with your firearm, but it has to stay in your vehicle. Other than that, no guns on school property. And the last one is House Bill 1143. 1143 would, let me read this one. It would repeal limited liability for manufacturers, distributors, dealers, and importers of firearms and ammunition. So it would allow makers of items to be sued based off what the end user does with that item. Now, the two bills that they didn't pass, like I said, one had to do with securing a firearm. That was House Bill 1350. The way it was written, you would have had to have provided a lock or a safe anytime you transferred a firearm, and it would have included at the range or hunting. So if you let somebody use your rifle to go hunting, you would have to have given them a lock or a safe with the firearm. So crazy on its merit. And the next one is a House Bill 1115. And that bill would have prohibited discharging a firearm within 900 feet of a non-residential commercial building without the express written consent of the owner. It also would have given a lot more leeway to towns and cities to, quote, ban the use of firearms on other property used for public recreational use. So they could have expanded that a long, long way. So the wind is dropping. The temperature's dropping as I'm sitting here. But beautiful day here in New England. I hope you guys are having a great one. This is what's happening in New Hampshire. Constitutional carry state, New Hampshire, I might add. So if they're trying to nitpick here, death by 1,000 cuts, what do you think they're going after with all this stuff? Again, no OK Corral, no Wild Wild West, but these things just have to be done. Why? Now, one of these proposed bills that they have passed through the House does anything to prevent or address crime. Keep that in mind. Nothing will affect the criminal, but this is just going to affect you and I. It makes no sense at all. All right, guys, thank you so much for your support. The march goes on until we see each other again. Be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon. Take care, everybody.